The chair acknowledges Matt Schneider for the purposes of a nomination.
Well, first of all, David, thank you so much for that extraordinarily kind introduction. You said so many nice things, I pretty much forgot you were talking about me towards the end of it. But, you know, we're very lucky to have all of you here in the Alaris Center this weekend. I've seen some pretty enthusiastic crowds in this building, but I know this one's pumped up to see Jasper Schneider be North Dakota's next insurance commissioner. And is it safe to say that some of you here might be excited to hear from Senator Obama tonight? And Senator Clinton, hear from both of them, see what they've been up to. And I'm going to go way out on a limb here for a second. Is anybody excited to see the North Dakota Democratic NPL continue their comeback and bring some partisan balance back to Bismarck? Well, I had a hunch on that one, but I do have some bad news. If you're here for the World Curling Championships, which are also in town this weekend, that's in a different building. But you should stick around anyway, because we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. So it is just an absolute honor to nominate my lifelong best friend, my cousin Jasper Schneider, to be insurance commissioner. Jasper's North Dakota through and through, and he understands that the basic idea behind insurance, when you boil it down to its most basic elements, the concept is that if we all face risk together, every single one of us is better off than we otherwise would be. And it's a pretty closely held value here in North Dakota too, once you think about it. I mean, it's just a fact. When times get tough, we're there for each other. We pull together. And you see examples of that. Take some of the first settlers here in the Redwood Valley. These family farmers, they understood that a North Dakota hailstorm could wipe out their crop, their neighbor's crop, or the crop of the farmer across the county. But if they're all there to insure each other, that storm wouldn't force anybody's family off the land. And if you go back even further than that, to the very first residents of what is now North Dakota, the people of the Lakota Nation, who made a life here on this rugged prairie only through the strength of their communities, they probably put it best. They had a saying that the hurt of one is the hurt of all. And when we stand by each other in North Dakota, every one of us is better off than we would be going it alone. But you know, there's some in Bismarck that just frankly didn't get the memo on that one, I don't think. Because take workforce safety and insurance, for example. If you're hurt, you work hard your entire life, and happen to be injured on the job through no fault of your own, all too often, the only response you get from the state agency that's supposed to help you out is a long form letter written in bureaucratic prose that says, you're on your own. If you're one of the 15,000 kids in North Dakota without health insurance, can you imagine that? Thousands of little kids with a runny nose or a hacking cough that can't go to see a doctor because they don't have coverage. If you're one of those kids, you've been told by lawmakers in the state, we wish you well, we hope it all works out, but you're on your own. The good news is, I know somebody who can change that. I've known this person my entire life. I've seen him walk up and down the aisles of political conventions just like this one when he was a little kid, holding the hand of his father, John. I've seen him grow into a man with the intellect to understand complex problems and the heart to use his talent and abilities to help other people. I've seen him represent injured workers in courtrooms throughout the state, and we've all seen him stand up for working people as a member of the North Dakota legislature, where he successfully worked to raise North Dakota's minimum wage and expand access to health care for special needs children. And with that experience, there's absolutely no doubt about what kind of insurance commissioner Jasper's going to be. He's going to protect consumers. He's going to make sure working people are treated fairly. He's going to make sure you have the coverage that you paid for when you need it. But beyond that, there's going to come a time here in North Dakota where somebody's going to need help. Maybe one of you, maybe somebody sitting next to you in this facility. There's going to come a time where they need a helping hand. And we've heard in the past this chorus of voices from somewhere deep within the Capitol Tower that you're on your own. Things are going to be different this time because Jasper's going to be there too. And he's going to say, wait just 1 minute. This is North Dakota. We're better when we pull together and we take care of each other. And because of that, we're all better off. And the state's going to be a lot better off when Jasper Schneider is insurance commissioner. So thank you. It's my honor to nominate Jasper Schneider.
chair recognizes the seconder, I'd like to ask the delegates to please hold the noise. It is very difficult to hear in here, so would you kindly hold the noise and be respectful of our speakers? The chair now recognizes the seconder, Representative Shirley Meyer.
Hi, everybody. This is a little bigger crowd than I'm used to speaking to, but in the House of Representatives, we refer to Jasper Schneider as the Intimidator. From the time he first set foot in the House of Representatives, the Republicans were intimidated. Whatever were they going to do with this young, intelligent, hardworking, gifted freshman? They didn't want him serving on the Industry, Business, and Labor Committee because he knew too much about injured workers, and he also knew too much about the problems at WSI, and he had plans to fix them. They didn't want him serving on the Judiciary Committee because he knew too much about laws being passed that weren't equitable to students. And they weren't equitable to, as my dad used to say, the man with dirt under his fingernails, the working man. So Jasper was put on the Human Services Committee. But within a matter of weeks, he had become a tireless advocate for the most vulnerable North Dakotans, and we knew we had a champion. He was advocating for increasing access to health care for all our children. And he was advocating for protection for consumers against aggressive insurance tactics. When he stood up on the floor to speak, people listened. The Republicans love his ideas. They've stolen all of them. Jasper introduced a bill last session to raise the minimum wage, and of course the idea was promptly stolen by the opposing party and became their idea with their name on the resolution, on the bill. I saw that afternoon Representative Schneider walking down the Great Hall of the Capitol, and I had to stop him and say, Jasper, doesn't it make you angry that the Republicans keep stealing your ideas and proclaiming them as their own? I will never ever forget what this sharp young guy said to me. Shirley, it isn't about who gets the credit. It's about giving a voice to the people that don't always have one. And I just said, wow, this guy, you could just tell that this man has grown up in a family dedicated to a lifetime of public service. They didn't always do what was easy, but I guarantee you, just like Jasper, they always did what was right. Our national candidates have been speaking of and promising change. We need change nationally, and we need change in North Dakota. We need a change in many state offices. And with Jasper Schneider, we will have a change in the Insurance Commissioner's office. We will have a man that is working for the citizens of North Dakota instead of for the insurance companies he's supposed to be regulating. I have had the privilege of knowing Jasper. I have had the privilege of serving with Jasper in the House of Representatives. And this fall, I will have the privilege of voting for Jasper Schneider for our next insurance commissioner. I proudly second his nomination.